You eat well, you exercise, you've cut the salt, and your blood pressure is still high. You are not broken, you are not failing, and you are not imagining it. In the next 2 minutes, I'm going to show you the exact kidney signal that insulin can flip, and why that single mechanism is the reason salt restriction fails for so many otherwise healthy people. I'm Dr. Mandy Thomas. Today we're going somewhere most doctors don't have time to take you. Once you understand what's actually driving your blood pressure, everything clicks into place, and you'll have a clear, actionable direction that has nothing to do with cutting more salt. Drop a comment right now, yes or no. Have you ever been told your blood pressure is high despite doing everything right? Because this video is for you. Let me be direct about something up front. Insulin is not the villain here. Insulin is essential. It's one of the most important hormones in your body. The issue isn't insulin itself. It's insulin staying elevated all day without ever getting the chance to come back down. That distinction matters, and I'll come back to it. Now here's what most people are never told. Your kidneys don't respond to sodium in isolation. They respond to the ratio of sodium to potassium, and they respond to insulin. When insulin is elevated, it can signal the kidneys to hold on to sodium rather than releasing it through urine. It tends to nudge the nervous system toward a more activated state, and in many people, it keeps blood vessels from fully relaxing. This is one of the reasons that meal timing interventions and time-restricted eating repeatedly show blood pressure improvements in research. It's not magic, it's hormonal space. When insulin finally has room to come down, the kidneys can do their job properly. Here's the analogy that makes this concrete. Sodium is the number of vehicles on a highway. Your kidneys are the exit ramps. Insulin is the traffic signal that controls whether those exits are open or closed. When you cut salt, you reduce the cars entering the highway. That helps somewhat. But if insulin is keeping those exits closed all day, traffic still backs up. The exits need to open, and insulin controls them. That's precisely why aggressive salt restriction alone often fails to move the needle. And yes, sleep apnea, white coat readings, and caffeine can also contribute to stubborn blood pressure. Today, we're focusing on the insulin pattern because it's the most overlooked and the most actionable. Now let's get to the 3 patterns I see over and over in otherwise healthy people that keep insulin elevated all day. Pattern 1, all-day grazing. Eating every 2 to 3 hours was promoted for years as the smart metabolic approach, the idea being it stabilized blood sugar and kept energy steady. What it also does is keep insulin switched on continuously. There is never a period where the body enters a genuine low insulin state, and that matters enormously for blood pressure. Pattern 2, liquid calories at the wrong time. Smoothies, protein shakes, fresh juices. This isn't about whether these foods are healthy. It's about timing and context. Liquid calories are processed faster than solid food and can spike insulin quickly. When they're sipped throughout the morning or added on top of meals rather than replacing them, they keep insulin elevated during hours when it would otherwise be falling. The timing matters as much as the food itself. Pattern 3, late night eating. Even something small, even something genuinely healthy, consumed close to bedtime can keep insulin elevated throughout the night. And overnight is exactly the window when your body is supposed to be running low on insulin, allowing the kidneys to release sodium, the nervous system to recover, and blood vessels to fully relax. When late evening food blocks that window, blood pressure pays the price. And it shows up most visibly the following morning. If your morning readings are consistently higher than your evening readings, that's a classic sign of this overnight pattern at work. Notice what connects all 3 patterns. It's not the quality of the food, it's the timing and frequency. This is a fundamentally different lens for blood pressure, and it opens up a completely different set of solutions. Now here's the part that surprises people most. Some of the individuals most affected by this pattern are people who look completely healthy. Normal weight, normal BMI, nothing obviously wrong. This comes down to visceral fat, the kind that accumulates around the organs rather than under the skin. Unlike subcutaneous fat, visceral fat is biologically active. It can interfere with how cells respond to insulin, driving chronically elevated levels even in people who appear lean on the outside. Blood sugar stays normal, labs look fine, but insulin is quietly elevated behind the scenes, and blood pressure is quietly climbing. Type 1 in the comments if this describes you, doing everything right, healthy looking, and still getting high readings. So what does the fix look like? The goal is simple. Create genuine low insulin windows in your day, stretches of time where you're not eating anything, allowing insulin to fall to baseline. This doesn't require keto, it doesn't require extended fasting, it requires intentional spacing. Here's a simple starting template. 3 meals, no snacks between them. An eating window of around 10 to 12 hours, and a hard stop on eating at least 3 hours before bed. That's it to begin with. Build from there. When insulin drops during those windows, the cascade begins automatically. The kidneys shift from retention mode into release mode. Excess sodium starts leaving the body through urine. Blood volume normalizes. The nervous system downshifts. Blood vessels begin to relax and dilate more fully. Many people notice changes within days to 2 weeks of consistently building these windows in. One important note, if you're diabetic and managing blood sugar with insulin or certain medications, changing your meal timing needs to happen in conversation with your clinician first. Don't adjust your eating pattern without that guidance. Tonight's action: set a firm stop time for eating this evening, at least 3 hours before bed. Tomorrow morning, check your blood pressure. One change, one data point. Start there. I want to pause here, because if this is reframing how you think about blood pressure, I want to make sure you keep getting this kind of information. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications now. And share this with someone who's doing everything right and still getting high readings. They need to hear this. Here's what I want you to carry forward from today. Blood pressure is not just a number on a cuff. It's a signal from your cardiovascular system about what's happening inside it. When you address the insulin pattern driving that elevation, you're not just moving a number on a monitor. You're reducing the daily mechanical stress on your heart, your kidneys, your arteries, and your brain. You're giving your entire cardiovascular system the hormonal environment it needs to regulate itself, which translates into something far more meaningful than any single reading: the ability to live well, stay functional, and maintain energy and independence for decades to come. I've put together a free guide, an insulin reset plan for blood pressure. It includes a 7-day meal timing schedule you can screenshot and use immediately, a late-night eating rescue plan for the evenings when the pattern breaks down, the 3 patterns to eliminate first, and the exact questions to bring to your next appointment. I don't know how long I'll keep this free before it becomes part of the full program. Grab it from the description now while it's available. If this gave you a new framework, drop a comment below. Was the insulin connection something you'd considered before, or is this completely new? I read every comment, and it directly shapes what I cover next. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share this with someone doing everything right and still getting high readings. Next video, the 3 specific types of exercise with the strongest evidence for lowering blood pressure, the precise mechanisms and protocols the research actually supports, not generic gym advice. I'll see you there. This video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute medical advice. Never adjust or stop medications or meal timing without consulting your healthcare provider first.